All right, hi, I'm Kim.
I'm Karen.
And we are No Filter Career Advice. And today, we're going to talk about 10 basics of a job interview. And so we're going to kind of keep it moving along so that we don't talk for 20 minutes.
We could. But you got to remember, guys, all these videos that we have a beautiful blog that's written by the lovely Kim. So, you can go back to our website and the blog, and you can go through everything step by step as we go through it on the video.
Right. Okay, so number one, getting ready for a job interview. You've just been called or emailed and said, hey, we'd really like to talk to you. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Well done. That's huge.
Yep. So now we want to make sure you're ready, then you're going to kill it. Okay. So first things first, number one, go back over the job description, go through it, make some notes about how you're qualified for different things. Think of some buzzwords that you want to make sure that you bring up. And don't apologize if you don't meet all the criteria. No. Don't worry about that. There's sometimes they just put everything in the job interview, but they really don't expect you to have everything. Right. Remember that.
Number two, you've got to know the industry that you're working in. You've got to do some amazing research.
Yep.
I want you to check out the industry on a state level, on a global level.
Sure.
I want you to dig really deep into the company. I want you to know the corporate structure. I want you to know some key names so you can do some name dropping. I want you to look at their 401k package. I want you to look at all their benefits, all that kind of stuff. I want you to really dig deep.
Yep. What are their products? Who are their clients?
Services,
where do they do business? What's in the news about them lately? What have they been up to? Who are their competitors and what are their competitors doing? Right. Just do some really good research show that you did your homework.
Right.
You're not going to know everything, and that's okay. And you don't want to come across as looking like you're the expert either, obviously. Right. But you should be familiar. You shouldn't be asking, oh, who are your clients? Oh, what products do you make? Yeah. Come on, they expect you to know that. Right. Absolutely. All right, number three, know who you're interviewing with. Know your interviewer. Hopefully, whoever you're talking to about setting up the interview is going to tell you who you're going to be interviewing with, unless it's just you're just doing what do you call that, like a quick screening interview with HR. Right. So ask who you'll be interviewing with and go look them up. You should know something about them, who they are, their title. Like LinkedIn is your friend.
That's a lot of information for them.
So go or Google.
That's number three.
Them. That's number three.
Four.
Number four, when you go to an interview, you should have some things with you. You should have a pen and some paper, a nice notepad, and you should have copies of your resume.
Yep.
Okay? So get one of those little cheap portfolios where you can tuck everything in.
Keep going. We're good. The battery's fine.
Okay. All right. So number five. This is really, really important. Be prepared for some tough questions. You are going to potentially get grilled on some really tough questions. So just get in that mindset. If somebody's going to ask you, what is the biggest challenge that you've ever faced in a work situation? Or when was a time that you demonstrated leadership? Or, this is my favorite, I've had somebody say, when was a time that you made a mistake at work and how did you handle it?
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is a tricky one because you want to be honest about making a mistake. You better have a mistake in your back pocket.
Right.
And you should spin it to make it look if it's horrible, make sure that it doesn't come across as horrible as it was. Right. Own up to it and then emphasize how you solve the problem.
So, and then there's always the favorite, why do you want to work for us?
Yeah, why do you want to work for us?
And if you don't have a verbal commitment right there on why, then you're going to go straight to the bottom of that pile.
Right, and we'll in another blog talk about some more questions that you might get asked.
We should do maybe a role play.
Yeah. Okay.
Not us. We'll do it with legit people.
Okay, that's a good idea. And then following up on the tough questions that you're going to get asked, they're going to ask you if you have any questions, and you better have some questions. Yeah, even if they answered all your questions, ask some other things. Ask, what's the biggest challenge for somebody taking this role?
Right.
Or what is something that kind of, in your role, keeps you up at night? What are the biggest challenges in your role? What are your frustrations? What do you enjoy most about your job? So just make sure that you have plenty of questions for them. Really, it's so disappointing when I conduct some interviews and then I say, what questions do you have for me?
And they have none.
Everything. Right.
And I think I'm good.
But they shouldn't be questions about what's in it for you.
Don't ask about salary.
Yeah,
oh my gosh,
no, we don't talk about salary, and certainly not in the first or second interview. That's something that you like handle after you get like
offered
a job
the
offer.
job.
They might ask you a salary range requirement, but that should be like offline, like
not during the interview.
Yeah,
we're not talking about stuff like that.
You should know that. You should have an idea of what
and they
your
should never ask
is.
you like, are you married? Do you have kids?
Yeah, nothing personal.
Like any of the personal stuff, you know, that's not going to be asked. So.
All right. So number 7. So number 5 is make sure you're ready for tough questions. Number 6 is make sure you have questions for them. And number 7 is be prepared for a phone interview. Phone interviews are tough because you can't like read the person, but they might ask you for a phone interview. So
or a Skype or a Facebook
or FaceTime.
Sorry, a FaceTime.
Right. So make sure that you're dressed for an interview. Even if you know it's just going to be on the phone, make sure that you have a really good connection and you're somewhere quiet. But also like dress up, like make yourself feel professional.
Make sure you've got some makeup on, your hair's done, and you're shaved, and all that good stuff. Because yeah, it makes a huge difference. But one thing I want to add to that too, I'm seeing a lot of people having to submit a 3-minute video prior to maybe an interview, a proper interview with a board of people. So, you know, you might have to have the technology available to you to record and then submit via email, and so they can preview and review that before they actually meet you in person.
All right, number 8, a couple things to avoid. Make sure that you don't have a wimpy handshake. When you meet somebody in person, just go practice your handshake. Don't take somebody's fingers and act like it's 1920. Like a good, firm mature handshake.
With eye contact.
Right. Don't bring up anything negative about the company that you might have read online or something that could be like embarrassing or bad news.
No.
Don't share any overly personal information, and again, like don't focus on what's in it for you. Don't focus on like how much vacation you get or what the benefits are like. That is not about what's in it for you. It's about what you're going to bring to the party for them. What
don't
you have
talk
to offer
about,
them.
well, my company did this. The company I work for right now did this.
Yeah.
Like, don't reflect on what your previous employment was like to them, because they really don't care.
Number 9, ask about next steps. You should know when you walk out the door what's going to happen next. Like, do they need anything from you? Do they want samples? When should you expect to hear from your contact? And just like make sure that you know what's happening next, and you're not like walking out into nothing. And they may be vague, and that's fine. But just you should ask the question.
But be prepared, because you're going to write a thank you letter.
Right. That's number 10.
You have to.
Number 10 is send a real thank you note. And I don't mean like
an
email or something like that. Like go old school and write the thank you note. And we have lots of tips on the website specifically about what to say. If you don't know how to write a thank you note, then
let's give you some
pointers. You gotta learn. This is important. This is an important life skill. You should be writing thank you notes for your birthday gifts anyway, so hopefully you already know how to do that. So I think that's about it for tips on being prepared for an interview.
I know, that one is a little dry. We know that, but it's so important. And really, it's hard. And that's the other thing I want to say. Make sure you just go to interviews, even though you might not really want the job or whatever. Like, it might be not a perfect fit for you, because you've got to practice. So if you're invited to an interview, you go. You get it done. You put it under your
prepare,
belt.
Right? And also like career fairs and any opportunity that you have to interview with anybody. I still like. If I get asked to come in for an interview, like I go. It is just great practice. Right. And then afterwards, write some notes to yourself to remember. These are some strengths that I should emphasize, or this came up, and just be prepared.
You can have like note cards, like little things that you can jog your memory from, and you have your little pad of paper.
You can write a couple.
So
sometimes I do that before I go. I have some strengths lined up.
Yeah. It's a lot of pressure. So we would like you to like, share, and subscribe. Please.
All right. Have a good one.